We interrupt this program for a horror review. Please stand by. Beep, 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 beep. We now return to your regularly scheduled horror review of Broadcast Signal Intrusion. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights. I'm ML Miller. Before we begin, please do me a favor and punch that like button down below. Share this video with all of your social media addicted pals. Click subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for notifications. Broadcast Signal Intrusion is new on DVD and Blu-ray from Dark Sky Films. It's directed by Jacob Gentry and written by Phil Drinkwater and Tim Woodall. A grieving widow named James, played by Glee's Harry Shum Jr., becomes fascinated with a series of broadcast interruptions where someone has hacked television broadcasts and were never caught. When James thinks there's a connection between the intrusions and a person going missing a day before, he begins a dark descent into madness and obsession, trying to figure out who made the videos depicting a masked person screaming incoherently and how they are connected to the missing persons, one of which might be James's late wife. Being a frequent rabbit holer of YouTube conspiracy videos and a Chicago resident, I'm very familiar with the Max Headroom video interruptions this film is based upon. A quick search on YouTube and you'll find various theories about who made the signal interruptions and how they did it. Unsolved mysteries are intriguing, so it makes for great fodder to build a thriller around. Broadcast Signal Intrusion also borrows from the I Feel Fantastic videos, where an android sings and moves strangely while singing in a computerized voice. Mixing these two online creepy videos and adding maybe a skosh of the absolutely creepy Chez St. John hand thing video, which has a person with a strange skin mask talking to the camera, and a pinch of the eye-slicing scene from Un Chien Andalou, and you've got one hell of a scary base to sprout some creepy scenes from. And while there are only 3 of these videos shown in the film, the fact that James is dissecting every frame of the films in a very rudimentary way, since this film is set in Chicago in 1999, it litters these strange and disturbing images throughout the entire film and makes the whole damn thing pretty creepy. The mask used in Broadcast Signal Intrusion is truly unsettling, as are its strange, robotic, and stilted movements. Just considering the effort put into those short snippets of oddity are enough to recommend this movie on its own. But Broadcast Signal Intrusion itself is a really dark and disturbing little descent into madness, reminiscent of Hardcore with George C. Scott and the underappreciated 8mm, where an investigator gets in over his head in a dark and perverse world that leaves him forever changed. Much like George C. Scott and Nick Cage in those films, Harry Shum Jr.'s James will stop at nothing to uncover the truth. But the truth is far more twisted than he expects. Shum does a great job of making his character sympathetic, and the film does a great job, for the most part, making it seem like he's taking a logical path with a logical mind. That is, until Shum's James begins seeing things that might not be there, and starts doing things that begin to make him just as twisted as the people he's looking for. At its heart, Broadcast Signal Intrusion is a mystery, but the mystery may not actually exist. James is searching for some kind of answer to a question that may not have an answer. He wants to give meaning to the common, eternal question about life and death that is the heart of Broadcast Signal Intrusion, and it makes for an easy quandary to latch onto. Needless to say, I was enwrapped in trying to find out the solution as much as James, and as tripped out as James was during some of the scenes of extreme oddity and taut suspense. But finding the solution to big questions like this is the problem. There really is no answer that is going to be satisfying, and if there is a part of the film that left me cold, it was the way Broadcast Signal Intrusion wraps things up. While the answers are left unattended to, for the most part, we do get a snippet of what James' fate is to be. So in some way, it wraps up the story in a way that couldn't be any different, given the fate others who attempted to solve the riddle succumbed to. Still, the ending is vague and abrupt and bound to piss off some viewers needing more of a concrete conclusion. Broadcast signal intrusion makes for a solid mystery, incorporating intriguing elements alluding to real-life occurrences. Harrowing Jr. is a solid actor and a strong lead for this thriller. Joined by some talented co-stars like This Is Us's Chris Sullivan as a man with key information, The Walking Dead's Kelly Mack as the Watson to James's Holmes, and a harrowing torture scene featuring Justified's Justin Welborn. While the mystery isn't exactly solved per se, it does wrap up with a good solid mind-rogering. But the videos James is studying are the stuff of nightmares, as are some of the horrors James discovers on his descent into insanity, making this ultimate trip into ambiguity filled with horrifying imagery and noises that are bound to inspire a night terror or two. That'll be it for today. Please chime in down below in the comments and let me know how on the nose or mind-numbingly wrong I am, or you can counter with your own review. So guys, you know how YouTube works. I'd love to be able to dedicate more time to this channel. I'm not monetized yet, so if you want to help me out, remember to hit all the pertinent bells and whistles down below. Want some spooky comics to read? I have 2 new horror comic book trade paperbacks you should look out for. Both Gravetrancers and Pirouette, collecting never-before-published issues, can be found in only the finest of comic book shops. If you're looking for written reviews, you can find them on my website, mlmillerwrites.com. If you really want to show your support, I also have a Patreon page at mlmiller. Look for the link to my Patreon page down below. Thank you so much for your time, and take care.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're doomed. Oh, you're doomed. You're doomed. You're doomed. Live the life that you are meant to be. Live inside that